All right, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for joining. Thank y'all for being on time. This is a brand new week and we're getting started today doing our weekly trainings on Tuesdays. So I know that we're used to doing them on Sundays, so thank y'all for being so flexible and hopping on a Tuesday night. Tonight we have a special guest. I let you guys know we're going to be talking about the travel business benefits or the benefits of having a home-based travel business. So we have our guest, Miss Takira Sims, on with us tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to her. All right. We actually met through a mutual friend. Jalen was your roommate, right? In college?
Yes, ma'am. We met at Sam Houston. Hey, Alexis.
Hey. Okay. All right. So Takira is a one-star director and Fireball award recipient in the business. She's been in business for 4 years. She has helped over 100 families start their travel business. So y'all know that's what a one star is, meaning that she also gave herself a $12,000 raise in the business. She travels at least one time a month, goals. She is a newlywed. She actually met her husband on a cruise and she booked a 67-person cruise destination wedding. So that's really cool. She's also a travel professional. So she's qualified to have the conversation that we're going to be having with you guys tonight. And because she loves helping people, she and I are not connected financially, but she is so graciously sharing with us tonight, answering any questions that we may have and just dropping some gems for us. So thank you so much for being on here tonight, Takira. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Alexis. And shout out to everybody on
Welcome.
the call Tuesday night, showing up for your success. And I just want to add in there, she called me a travel professional. Yes, I am, but we are here to talk about me being a tax professional. So, yeah, absolutely. I have been in this travel business for 4 years, but I've been preparing taxes for a little bit over 7 years. So, I'm super excited to share with y'all all of the benefits of having a home based business. And so, I'm so excited. Hello, welcome, Veronica. So, we're going to go ahead and get started and just talk about why taxes really matter, right? So, of course, as individuals, we are used to W 2 workers, we are used to only having, you know, income that is produced from our W 2. And most people think that taxes is something that you deal with, after you make money. But the truth is, as a business owner, you should be thinking about that in the beginning. So, like I mentioned, W 2 workers, guys, taxes come out and we figure out life is what's left. And then, of course, as business owner, we got a plan for our expenses and things like that. So I really wanted to basically talk to you guys about this 1099 business. Okay, so once you get started, you immediately are a business owner, but you actually don't get to use the benefits per se until you make at least $600 in your business, and that's when you're issued a 1099. So what does that mean? That means as a professional, even though you may have gotten a checks here, a couple of $100s, it is not recognized by the IRS until you have successfully made $600, whether that's in cash, whether that is 1099 from Planet Marketing or IntelliTravel. That is how you know that you're supposed to file that information. Okay. So the main thing that I want to talk to you guys about is as a tax professional, you have to understand that with your business, you actually have to structure it the right way. And so I want to kind of shift, guys, with the W 2 versus the 1099 like mindset, right? W-2 employees, taxes are automatically withheld, limited deductions and things like that. And the refunds, is just reactive. But with a 1099 home-based business, it's a little bit more strategic, okay? So your income is like reported gross, and then expenses can be taxed. It actually can reduce the taxable income when you have a 1099 business. And then, of course, your taxes are planned out and not guessed. So I'm super excited. You can go to the next slide, sister.
Okay.
Um, to kind of talk about one of the biggest expenses that we can write off as business owners. Home office expenses. So each and every one of us, if we have a home-based business, we are doing work in a part of our home, right? Whether it's in the garage, whether it's a little corner in the room, whether it's in the closet, in your extra bedroom. But if you have a room, a corner, or any dedicated area, even if it's inside of your living room, and you're working with your clients and you're booking travel, you're training your team, you may be able to deduct a portion of that. Okay, so rent, mortgage, utilities, internet. But it's very important that you keep up with documentation. And so, what does that mean? How much square foot is actually that you're using on a monthly basis for that home office? And of course, your tax professional will actually help you break that down. And so, guys, a lot of people, file their taxes on their own, and that's absolutely okay. But I always recommend to reach out to someone that has more information on how to truly, truly maximize your deductions. Because TurboTax and things like that, they're going to give you the bare minimum because you're not speaking with someone directly that can really, really help. So I wanted to throw that nugget out there. So a spare bedroom can be used as an office, guys, a designated corner, like I mentioned, with a desk, and any space that you create, bookings done, anything like that can be helped. So not your entire home, okay? It's not your entire home, but it is a portion based on the business use. Okay, so we can go to the next one. So I know technology, of course, guys, is really important. And things like our cell phone, internet, a lot of these are tax deductions. Laptop, your tablets. If you bought these things within the year of your business, they can be written off. Also, portion of not the portion, the software subscriptions, printer, supplies, and things like that. So one thing I would highly recommend, and what I always tell my clients, is keep up with these things that you use to keep your business active, like your ring light, your Canva subscription, any of your CRM tools like Travel Joy and things like that. And then, of course, a portion of that cell phone and internet can be written off. Now, if you get a business phone specifically for business, then that total bill can be written off. So I always like to let people know about that. So that second phone is a total write-off as well for your business. And then, of course, guys, those email marketing platforms, CapCut, all of those editing apps, if you're paying subscriptions on it, it is a tax write-off. So basically, if you're using it to make money, market your business, or educate your audience, it needs to be tracked for one, and it also can be a tax write-off. All right. So we're going to go into something else that's important. I believe it's education and training. So one thing I do know is that we like to have fun learning and earning. Y'all, we are in the business of travel, right? And so when it comes down to the education side of our business, you're actually able to, like, as long as your business, like your education isn't like a hobby and you're actually learning to um, make money, to go in and make money in your business, then the IRS actually recognizes this as a write-off as well, and it's an investment basically, right? And so what I do want to highlight is what qualifies you is like the travel agent trainings, right? Certifications like leadership conferences and business workshops, personal development, online courses, and things like that. I think you have another slide next to it. All of those online courses and coaching programs, y'all, all of those things are, if you're able to keep up with your receipts and your tickets and things like that, all of those are tax write-offs for your year. And so, like it says on the screen, the marketing, branding, business cards, website, and domain. She kind of went into a little bit more of this, the social media management and branding tools. So basically, the education must improve or maintain like the skills related to the business. So you can't have a travel business and say, oh, I'm going to go to a dog walking conference and try to write it off on your travel business, right? So we have to make sure that we are keeping it aligned with the business that we're using. So you can go to the next one.
All right,
Perfect,
guys.
perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to you, Alexis. Go ahead.
Okay. So this next one, we're going to talk about the content creation tools because as we know, in this business, we do a lot of online marketing. So, of course, we have things like our cell phones. Some of us have laptops that we use to conduct our business, but there's other things like lighting, microphones. Takira mentioned some of those editing apps that we use. These are tools that require a subscription or you have to pay for it in order to produce in your business. So social media is not just social media for us. We're not just using our phones to scroll. It's actually in pursuit of income. So that's what separates it from a hobby. So if you guys purchase things, like for example, I purchased a drone and I use that drone to capture footage for my travel marketing. So that's other things that goes towards the business. Um, Let me see. Let's go to this next slide. She also hit on education and training. So you guys can see this is some of our Relentless fam that was on a fam trip. So that travel agent education, they went on the trip. Of course, it's like a bleisure trip, business and leisure. They're going and basically the goal is to learn all the different types of amenities that that resort or that cruise line, whatever the that company that invites you on the fam, you're learning all about it so you can come back home and sell it to your clients. So let's see. Same thing with coaching and mentorship and business leadership. All of these things are helping us get more skills so that we can be more equipped in our business. All right, I'm gonna go to the next slide and turn it back over to you, Takira.
Okay, perfect. Yes, like Alexis mentioned, the events and business travel, like the conferences, and of course those travel expenses, we have to get there somehow. Like you see, her and her husband, they were at the 2025 Planet Marketing Convention. We had to get there. We had to purchase that ticket. So you can go to the next slide, actually, sister, because this is where it gets really good, y'all. This is where the travel and the taxes collide, like perfect. Okay. I'm talking airfare, hotel stays, transportation, all of that good stuff. Y'all, this is a 1099 home based business. So these are all tax write offs. We are going on a business trip. And listen, it is so important to keep up with this stuff, y'all. If you know that you have this going on for the next 3 to 4 or 5 months, you want to keep track of what you're spending, how much you're spending, and most importantly, we're going to get into it in a second, but I want to go ahead and say keeping your travel and your business expenses separate. You do not want to collide this with your personal expenses, right? So when Alexis and her husband they flew to Orlando for that convention, they made sure that they used their business credit card, their business debit card, and they kept all of that information separate. Even when they were buying meals during the breaks that we had, right? Whether they got a car that they rented throughout the time, all of those are tax write-offs when you keep up with them appropriately. So we can go to the next one. And I also want to keep in mind, guys, Uber, Lyft, parking tools, parking and tolls, right? And then of course, baggage fees and things like that, all of it falls under the same umbrella, but you have to keep up with it. And so also when it comes down to meals, right, like I just mentioned, while you're traveling, during the event, if you sit down and have a business meeting with your coach or future prospect, guys, I am always meeting up at the coffee shop with someone and showing this business, and guess what, putting it all on my business card, because it is going to be a deductible at the end of the year. And like the screen says, is to keep documentation. I think this is the most important thing, is to keep it. And it's not that you have to turn it into the IRS immediately, guys. It's not that you have to show proof of it immediately. It's in the event that you have a audit or something comes up, you want to make sure that you keep up with these things. And typically your tax preparer would keep up with it between 3 to 4 years. So keep in mind that those receipts matters. And if you're someone that says, hey, I cannot keep a receipt to save the life of me, y'all take pictures of your receipts, save it into a folder. There's also different apps like QuickBooks that can help, and things like that. So keep in mind that when you know you're on the go and you're a busy person, it takes nothing to take your phone out and take a picture and keep it in that way, okay? So we can go to the next slide. Vehicle expenses. Definitely understanding that when it comes down to vehicle. Now, if I'm being honest, we could talk about this as a tax professional, guys. This right here with the mileage. We're talking about mileage, guys, not how much gas you put in. Okay, you have to keep up with your mileage. So if you are someone that have like download apps, there's different apps that you can use to keep up with the mileage on your own, of course, when you travel to meet with clients and things like that. It's really important um, to keep up with it, whether you're doing the local meetings, the business errands, conferences, and things like that. But mileage is something that the IRS will come back and say, hey, you need to show me proof of this, because this is a really big deduction. And so when people just going in there plugging in stuff, it can come back, and it doesn't look pretty for people that don't have documentation. So just for someone that's been around for a long time, I want to be very, very responsible with telling you guys about keeping up with your mileage if you're going to use this as a deductible, and make sure that the person that you are doing taxes with, you actually trust, and y'all have that rapport, okay? Okay. One other thing that me and Alexis wanted to share with you guys is basically how to prospect, using taxes, right? So for my builders on here, a lot of us, we just talked about the benefits for you having a travel business, a home based travel business with different. Two different businesses, a marketing business and a home-based travel business. You do have access to both for the people that have access to that on the call. And so we did want to talk to you guys about how using this season to prospect. Right. This is the perfect season to start up conversations, because everybody is filing taxes. Everybody, billions of people all over the world, well, specifically here, are filing taxes. Okay. And so, um, I would like to kind of go over, like a scenario maybe with Alexis that we can go and talk about. So, uh, for instance, Alexis, we're talking, we're at the library or whatever, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not looking forward to tax season. What's something that maybe you can say to jump, kind of role play off of that?
I would probably come back with, um, are you a W-2 employee? Like basically talk to them about their job, see if they're an entrepreneur or if they work a normal job.
That's great. Yeah, so you definitely want to ask them questions, right? Get to know them. What kind of work do you do? Are you a W-2 worker? What do you do again? And even if it's a friend that you've been knowing for a while, you can just be like, "Girl, what do you do again?"
Hmm.
"Oh, girl, man, I'm in the plants and I just make all of this money and I just got to pay every single year. I'm just not looking forward to it." What would you say to that?
Well, I actually have a way that you can earn additional side income. So I'm not telling you to quit your job, but I have a way that you can earn additional streams of income, up to 8 streams of income. Is that something that you would be interested in?
Girl, making more money. I mean, yeah, but then I'm gonna have to pay more taxes.
This business that I'm going to introduce to you actually saves you in taxes. It's tax deductible. It's 1099 income. So it's fully commissionable. Is that something that you would want more information on?
Absolutely. So you see how that flow, guys? People are going to be they're going to be interested in hearing how that this is a tax write-off. Like I'm telling you, that is something that I use all the time and their alarms go off. And for the people that's on this call, guys, y'all can definitely just come back and just say, "Hey, I was just on a tax informational for my business and I just learned so much about how a home-based business is used for tax planning because that is what people do. Strategic people, smart people, this is what they do. They are in they are making sure that they are set up correctly. And so when we laugh about some of the high earners and some of the things that the president has done and people and things like that, we're like, oh, how he not in jail? Well, because they're strategic. They know what they're doing. So I'm just throwing it out there. These people are making a lot of money. And then there's ways that you can kind of legally, of course, get around not paying as much taxes. And so I'm really excited. I'm really happy that she put this together for you guys. This is such a blessing because y'all getting some gems right now. And then also, I did want to let you guys know that I always recommend speaking with a tax professional because everyone's situation is different. Okay. Everyone's situation is different. No one person's situation is the same. And just know that you now have all of the information that you need in order to have a successful year. Of course, know that have the knowledge on what is actually written off. And not only that, you're able to really talk to other people on how this can benefit them as well.
Yes, thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing that with us. Now, I
Yeah.
do have a quick question.
Yes.
Um, how can they find you? Because I know some people, you mentioned the TurboTax. I used to be a person that filed my own taxes. Are they able to file their taxes through you?
Absolutely, guys. I am accepting new clients this year, so I would love to help you guys. I do offer free quotes and file now, pay later options. Of course, I'm always open to answering any questions for free. I don't mind. And yeah, so I can drop my information in the chat box, and feel free, guys. Reach out, call me, text me. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. But I would love to help you guys. I also offer file now, pay later. File now, pay later options. But y'all, we are travel professionals, and we are the referral kings and queens. So I offer $50 for every referral as well. Okay, so even if you don't file with me, that's not an issue at all, guys. You can always refer me, and there's no limit to how many people you can refer. I'm like Planet Marketing, all right.
Hey, I love it.
So
And while
I'm
she's
sending y'all.
typing that in the chat, I wasn't gonna say anything, but since she threw it out there in the chat, I'm reading the chat now. Miss Veronica just joined our team last night, and
Congratulations.
yes, welcome, welcome.
Yes.
Um, I'm not going to mention your occupation unless you would like to come off mute and do that. But she did mention that she's a high income earner. And one of the reasons why she started her travel business is for the write-offs. So I thought that it was perfect timing, not only because she just joined, but having Takira share this information with us, it was just perfect timing. Veronica, did you
Absolutely.
want to come off mute?
Hi everyone.
Hey,
Hi. Welcome. Congratulations on getting your business started.
yes.
I'm actually at work right now. I'm a family medicine physician. I'm here in California, and my best friend is Sherry. Actually, Alexis is her niece. I've known her since the fifth grade. So I'm excited to be here, and like Alexis said, I need as many tax write-offs as I can get. And I love to travel. I love cruising, and I know other people that would possibly be interested in joining as well. So I'm excited. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Glad to
Yay.
have you.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, you have so many tax write-offs with this business. So it is super exciting that you get to do what you love to do and make money and save.
Yes, we did want
Yes.
to open up for Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, while we have her, please feel free to come off mute and ask her your questions. I'll ask the first question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we did talk about how the taxes benefits in our business. Is it different for people who are IntelliTravel only versus both, or vice versa?
So it is different because, well, it's different based off of the business. So whatever it is that you're deducting, it has to be for that business. So for
Okay.
instance, when it comes down to Planet Marketing, I mean they're similar, but for when it comes down to Planet Marketing, we're not using like CMR and Canva and things like that. So you want to keep that on the IntelliTravel side, right? But
Okay.
we are traveling to meetings. We are traveling to meet up with business partners. So you kind of want to make sure you keep that separate for the most part. I do keep all of my business expenses on one for both. And I
Okay.
just kind of differentiate like that. Yes. But it's totally up to you on how you want to do it.
Okay.
Great
I have an
question.
I have another question.
Come on, girl. We here. Come on.
Okay, my other question is, do you have any tax sheets that you're willing to share, basically to help us stay organized throughout the year?
So profit and loss sheets, we can Google. I can share it. I can send it to you via email. But
Okay.
profit and loss sheets, guys, are really really simple. They're like a Google Excel, right? You can just Google that and keep up with it. That way, I know a lot of people use QuickBooks to keep up with things, but honestly, just going on Google and typing in profit and loss because it's pretty simple. It's just what came in, what came out, and what was at the end. And what I do recommend is keeping up with everything for the month, right? It will make your life so much easier if you're able to, at the end of the month or a certain day of the month, you're like, hey, I'm going to go back and I'm going to calculate what happened during this time. That's going to help you guys out tremendously because the beauty of this business is that the 1099, the income, they're keeping up with it because our business is a turnkey business. So it's not like a traditional business owner where we have to keep up with every single thing that every single dollar that came into our pockets. So IntelliTravel and in Planet Marketing keeps up with those two. So when it comes down to what you spent is basically through whether you're using QuickBooks, whether you're using your bank account, things like that. But you do want to keep those receipts for everything.
Okay. Do you have a recommended time of how long we should keep those documents?
3 to 4 years,
Okay,
absolutely,
3 to 4 years.
absolutely. And that's IRS.
Okay.
IRS. Now here's the thing. If you have a tax professional, of course, they keep up with that. They're the ones that keep it on file for that amount of time. And then after that, it's like basically like you're in the clear. They won't come and mess with you.
Okay. Nobody has any questions?
One thing I would like to add, guys, is that what really helps with a profit and loss statement is kind of keeping everything categorized. So marketing expenses, right? So like your Canvas, your subscriptions, you want to keep it separate. Your food and meals. I think that right there is super important because one thing IRS cares about is the story. They don't really care about they want you to make sure that you're telling a story with your business. Like they want to make sure that everything lines up. They want the documentation if they come back to audit you guys. Because if not, then you have to pay. I mean, that's just what it is. The worst thing that can happen is that you don't have the documentation and you have to pay. That's the worst thing.
Okay. I think that was all of my questions. Um,
I want to think if I had anything that I wanted to share else.
Can you put that phone number back up?
Yeah. I wonder if it let me. Yeah, guys, save my number. And like, even if you're not ready to file right now, or you just, trying to figure out some things, just save my number just like for the future. If you guys are new business owners and you're like, hey, I don't even have to deal with that this year. I just have a regular W-2, and that's fine as well. But you definitely want to just save my number, reach out to me if y'all have any questions. And then, like I mentioned, the referrals, because I do $50 referrals for everyone that you guys send my way. Once they file, you get $50 when they get paid, because I do offer that file now, pay later feature.
Okay. That's
Let me look.
amazing too. That's a good
Yeah.
offer.
Yes, of course. Come on, bring them my way.
Right.
Yes, yes. So I did want to just say this because I kind of put this in my notes. Like a quick summary of what I think is really important is separate your accounts, right? Track everything monthly, like we just mentioned, categorize the expenses, save your receipts, take pictures of them, and then review it quarterly. Every couple of months you want to go back and say, okay, this is how much I spent, this is, what I've made. And then, of course, I always recommend getting professional support. Do you have to have a conversation with your tax preparer every 3, 4, 5 weeks? No. If you're keeping up with things, and even a lot of people, y'all, a lot of people do not do what they're supposed to do. Let's be clear. So don't think we all here perfect patties, okay? People do not do what they're supposed to do. They're going to come with me and just throw it all at me. And so, and so I'm not saying that that's right, but it happens, right? Sometimes we don't keep up with those things. And as time go by, you definitely want to get better at that. But don't be afraid, if you didn't keep up with it, to not tell your tax preparer what you actually did. If you're like, you know what? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. But I know I went here. I know I went there. Let them know, because that can still help your tax situation. Now, if you don't have the proof, you're going to have to sign a written ledger. And a written ledger is just basically something saying, hey, I know that I did this. And it's basically like how back in the day they used to write IOUs and put the amount. That's what a written ledger is. So that is still, IRS still will take that. So even if you don't have every single receipt, every single, bank statement or whatever for the last, couple of years, still let your tax preparer know how much you really made, how much you really spent, because there's ways that we can actually document it where it is legit, and we can still push it through. And we can always turn that written ledger into the IRS if something ever came up, which is just basically telling that story, like I mentioned, the location, the time, how much, and things like that. So keep in mind, we are here to help you guys, not hurt y'all, okay?
I got a text from a little birdie, I
Yes.
guess, that wanted to remain anonymous. They were asking, can them and their spouse, like if they planned a trip, how much of that, or are they able to write it off? If so, how much of that is a write-off? If their spouse is not in the business, it's just them in the business.
I mean, if you're planning a trip, absolutely not. But if you're going on a business trip,
Can you tell me the difference? What
so a
would make it a
business trip
business
is you
trip?
going for business. You can't say I'm going on vacation, but let me write off my vacation. Y'all know you have to be strategic. Okay, you have to be strategic as professionals. So if you are going on a business trip with your wife or your spouse, then absolutely it is a tax write off. Now I can't say the full amount. Like, so if it's $4,000 and $4,000 will be written off. That's not kind of how it works, right? There's certain percentages and deductions that goes into it. And it also depends on your tax situation, because everybody's different. So for someone that comes to me and they are 100% self-employed, right? They have a hair business, and they're a single woman or a single male, and they are a barber, and they come to me, and then they also work this business as a professional, travel professional. Typically, they may owe, right? Because they don't have any taxes taken out for the whole year. Now, if they're setting up their stuff correctly, they're paying into it quarterly, that's a different story. But if they just come to me at the end of the year and say, "Hey, I made $50,000 with my with my hair cutting business, and I made $10,000 with my travel business, total $60,000, and I got zero kids, and I have zero, taxes paid," you're gonna owe. You're gonna owe. It just is what it is. So we got to be prepared to owe. Now, with your travel business, since it is 100% home based business, you're going to be able to bring that owing down, thankfully. But if we have someone that says, "Hey, I'm a mom, I have two kids, I have a W-2 job, and I have a business on the side," they're actually going to probably get paid. They're going to get a refund. So everyone's tax situation is different, and especially when it comes to married people. Some people like to file separate. So there's no right or wrong answer, or I can't, go into that because when I tell y'all it varies, it varies.
Okay. So
Yes.
you did mention like basically if it's a personal trip, that differs from a business trip. So let's say that somebody plans a personal trip, but they throw in a site inspection while they're there. You said strategic. So to me, that's
That's a
being
business trip.
strategic. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, absolutely, that is a business trip. You are doing business, you're learning about your business. But if you're just going on a girls' trip for bachelorette, you can't be like, "Oh, I'm about to write this off." You can't do
Yeah.
that. But yeah, if you're going for a site inspection, you and your husband, you and your business partners and things like that, and you're meeting with prospects while you're there, absolutely, absolutely right.
Thank you. Another thing that I learned, and I don't know why I forgot to put this in the slideshow, but like clothing whenever you're traveling, for example. So, um, I think that was one of the first questions I asked my tax preparer whenever I started my business. Can I write off the wardrobe that I purchased for vacation? And he was like, did it have your business logo or business information on it? And the answer was no. So for all my Fashion Nova or whatever you guys are, I see your face, Lakeisha. If you guys are going out and you're buying your vacation outfits, you're getting your hair done, your nails done, all the prep things for vacation, no, it's not a write-off. You can't deduct that because it's not specifically for your business.
Correct. That's
Okay.
good. That's great. That's great. Absolutely. She's right. So yeah, so don't overthink it, y'all. Get with y'all tax professional. Reach out to me if y'all need help. But we here to help y'all. So just keep up with y'all stuff. I think that's like the main thing is just keep up with
Yeah.
it. And if you can't keep up with it, don't want it to bite you in the butt later on. But if you just, sometimes slip up, that's fine too. Just make sure you let them know how much you actually spending in those categories. Very important.
Okay. Well, thank you. If we don't
Yeah.
have any questions for Takira, then we will go ahead and dismiss her. I'm looking around. Let me check this chat.
Thank you. That was very informative.
Thank you. It's so nice to meet y'all.
Thank you.
And I look forward to connecting with y'all in person and business and trips and all of that.
Yes. Okay,
Yes,
thank you. We
guys.
won't hold you any
Thank you.
longer.
No worries. Thank you so much, Alexis, for inviting me. I really appreciate this. And please share the Zoom with me if you
Oh,
can.
yes. Okay,
All
absolutely.
right. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank
You
you.
too. See you later.
Bye.
All right, guys. That was really good. I learned a lot. I took some notes. Um, were you guys just being shy or y'all don't have any questions?
No, your questions were good.
Okay.
Yeah, she basically answered a lot, and then your questions were good. So,
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. I will just go ahead and mention today's Tuesday. So tomorrow, let's go in and see. I was wondering about the clothes. Yes, that was a big thing for me because I'm like, man, I spent all this money on my vacation prep. Can I write it off? Yeah, I quickly got shut down because they weren't like business shirts. So I definitely plan on making some business shirts. It's just good for marketing too. Like that's one thing that I thought about. I just got off of a cruise and I'm like, man, I had conversations with several people every single day and I didn't bring up my business. I did that purposely because I didn't want the conversation to only be about business. I wanted to have a good time still. Um, but yeah, I thought about it later. Like, if I would have just wore a shirt to advertise my business or market my business, that would have been a conversation starter in itself. So people interested could ask. I didn't have to feel like I was forcing the conversation. I
Mm.
see you came off mute.
Yeah, can you do that? Like, did I see or read somewhere that you were not allowed to do that in some places?
Yes. So I think that you have to be careful. You have to look at that supplier's guidelines because, for example, on cruises, and maybe not all cruise lines, but I know for sure Carnival and Royal Caribbean, they had travel agents that would take their business cards and like slip them underneath the cabin doors and you're not supposed to do that. So
Mm.
you never know who is in that cabin or who's on that ship. So you want to always be in compliance, basically. So that's another reason why I was cautious about having the conversation. But there are ways that you can just naturally bring it up. Like if you're having a great conversation, you can just, I ask, the way that I bring it up is, how did you guys book this trip? And so after they tell me that, if they booked it themselves, I ask, are they a travel agent? If they tell me no, well, there's my way in the door. So that's actually what happened. I'll share a little bit with Veronica, if that's okay. If you can hear me, can you give me a thumbs up if you don't mind me sharing how we came about? I know she's working. Okay, I'll go ahead and share. So, oh, she said yes. Okay, so she just booked a cruise. It was a group cruise, and she was one of the clients in that cruise. I learned after putting in her VIFP number or her Carnival number that she cruises often. So, of course, that's what I asked her. How do you normally book your cruises? And she normally books it on the Carnival website. So, she does it herself. Um, the way that I move after that question is always to offer people their own commission versus me booking it for them. So, for this instance, she was more comfortable with me booking this trip for her, but I'm sure, because she has another trip next month, I'm going to help her book that trip so she can earn her own commission on that trip. So it happens like that. And she's not the only business partner that I have that used to book travel with me or through me. And then just through conversation, I'm like, you sure you don't want to make this money yourself? Like, I don't want to make the money off of you. I'd rather make the money with you. So just introducing people that you know already travel, um, it's an easy conversation to have. I was about to share something with y'all. Let me look at my notes. I can't remember right now. I think that's all I have. I forgot what else I had to tell y'all. Let me stop recording.